You're listening to Last Word Radio, where you get the last word.
The podcast you are about to listen to is a member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB Financial. ATB sponsors hockey all the way from Tom Thumb and Pee Wee to the pros. They also love helping local volunteers whose tireless efforts often make hockey possible in their communities. For more on how ATB is here for you, head over to atb.com/listens. The Fourth Line Podcast, part of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. This is September the 29th, 2018. With you today is myself, Carl, and the always exceptionally wonderful Joel. It's number 200.
Bum-ba-da-bum!
We did it. We're here.
Oh, can you believe it?
I cannot believe it. It has been a journey.
It has been. It's been quite the thing. I've been around, I don't know, 150, probably more than that.
More than that. I think you came in around 40 odd.
Yeah. So, it's been a long one.
Yeah, I've been here for 199 of them.
You've missed one.
I've missed one episode, yeah.
I guess I've missed, I came in around episode 40-ish or so, but I've missed a handful in between, but who cares about that?
Yeah, we're not counting those. Your name's still on the show, so it's been very good, and I wish that we could take credit for having it line up so well that we get to celebrate 200 and celebrate the start of the hockey season all at the same time, but that's just dumb luck.
Sort of. Apologies to Tiny Mike. We totally canceled the line. Nope, can't say that. That's our first. Well, there you go. Our first bleep of the 200. What would 200 be without some sort of mess up?
Without some sort of edit being necessary. Yeah, we did have to bump the blank line.
Ooh. So, I am sick, so nothing that I say or do can be held against me.
That's the kind of commitment that Joel had. And you may notice, we said September 29th off the start. That's because Joel refused to miss episode 200, and I refused to do episode 200 without Joel.
Exactly.
So we're doing it on a Saturday. So whether this comes out on Saturday or comes out on the regular Monday, you'll know in the future. We don't know that answer yet. We've had quite the times here on the old Fourth Line podcast throughout the years. Do you have a favorite moment that stands out to you?
Well, I think we always talk about that there's the wrestling episode. That was a defining moment for us.
The wrestling episode changed how we do everything on the show. Yeah, nothing. If we hadn't have had that happen, the brilliant idea that was the Royal Rumble and the ensuing fallout / gratefulness, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have had. I doubt we'd have our website. It wouldn't look like the way it does now if we didn't. We wouldn't have taken this show where it is. It spurred us on to greatness.
Yeah, so I think that's the obvious one. There's been a lot of good moments along the way. But but there's definitely not one that sticks out as much as that. Is there one for you that apart from the wrestling episode, is there an episode or some things that you remember that stick out for you?
I think the abysmal Avalanche season and finding ways to some of the rant shacks that we had during that session. Those are some of my favorites. we've, obviously had some great guests along the way as well. Always enjoy finding new people to talk to. But just probably the rant shacks throughout the years have been my favorite, whether it's me, you, whoever it is. A little bit fired up has always been fun.
My favorite rant shack was when you went after Toronto Blue Jay bandwagon fans.
That was a good one. Yeah.
It was because so I would say there has been times that the rant shack has been embellished. That was not one of them.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to tell, at least for me, when you really are fired up and passionate. And it's always good. Anytime we have an excuse to talk about Gary Bettman in the Rant Shack, that's also not embellished in the slightest.
That's true. I just think I always think it's interesting to know because and I don't I can say this and it doesn't matter because nobody will know, but there are plenty of times that I have throughout the years that I know Carl is just arguing with me just for the sake of arguing with me. And and he's just and I'm sitting and and it's fine or whatever, but I know he doesn't believe any of this. He's not believing a word he's saying. And it's funny because that happens probably more than most of the listeners realize.
My favorite part is when you think you know that, and then you're like, man, you really sold that argument. You didn't believe any of that. And I 100% did. We finished the show and you thought it was all fake. It's real.
That's because
I really think that.
That's usually the illogical things. And then usually it just ends with, you're wrong. It's fine.
Very, very true. But you mentioned that we wanted to do something special for our listeners. We always like to give things away. Sometimes we wait till the very end of the show. We want to jump into that right now. So if you're listening, if you're a longtime listener, if you're a new listener, we got a prize pack for you. And what makes this one special, a special 200th episode prize pack, we're giving it all away. We're giving
all of it.
Every single thing you will be able to get. If you don't have a mini stick, a puck, or the brand new coasters that we're going to be sending out this season as well, you will be able to get all of those all at once. All you have to do is just know a little bit about us.
I think this might be a little difficult because there are there are throwback questions here.
Yeah, some of them, as Joel mentioned, some of them go all the way back to presumably, I think it might have been was the number of when Joel first started on this show.
Oh, you got to bleep that now too.
Okay. So you have to figure that part out.
Because that just gives away one of the answers. Come on, Carl.
This show's definitely coming out on Monday with all the editing that's going to have to happen to it. All right. So what we're going to do, take out if you're listening on a device and you're traveling, just bookmark this time and come back when you have a pencil and a paper to write this down, because we're doing a quiz, pop quiz right now. We've got 5 questions.
Oh, if you get all 5 of these right, you could win.
So everyone who gets 5 right, names in a hat.
Yeah, and then I guess if nobody gets all 5 right, everyone who gets 4 right, name is in a hat. We're giving something away. We're not.
Yeah, whoever gets, everyone who gets the most right, names in a hat. I would be surprised if we don't have all 5 of them.
I think we're going to get a 5er.
Yeah. So you can send them to us you can message them on the Facebook, you can DM us on Twitter. If you want to make your answers public for everyone to see, then you're just decreasing your odds of getting it. You can email it to us, mail at thefourthlinepodcast.com, at fourthlinepodcast on Twitter, or facebook.com/thefourthlinepodcast. Let's get into it. Question number 1. Which Oiler did Joel have some hate for in his very first episode on the show?
Oh, it's It's difficult. It's a difficult question. There's so many bad ones.
There was, especially back when you were, made your debut on the show.
Well, no, it's still now. There's just one good one. That's the difference.
Question number 2. Do you want me to read all of these? Do you want to jump?
I don't know. I'll go with one. I don't know what order we were going in, so I'm just going to choose one of the ones that I know.
All right, go.
So every week, we pick our Pavel Bure games of the week. Why do we call them the Pavel Bure games?
And they're coming back tonight. We've got real hockey happening. All right, question number 3. Which former Toronto Maple Leaf was on the opposite side of the scale used when I would judge how bad or how I felt about the Avalanche on the blank to Patrick Waugh scale?
Oh, that's a doozy.
That's a good, yeah.
These are just so many memories right now as we go through this.
I'm glad that I don't have to do that anymore. I'm glad that that's not a thing. Let's go with this question. Which team do Joel and I have an equal hatred for? Which team do we both have an equal hatred for? And the last question number 5. Do you want to take this one?
No, because I forget. This is like the one that is worded the weirdest. So you got to do it because you wrote it down.
Yeah. So this question, I had a couple favorite players when I was a young lad. Which player, not known for his time as a member of the Colorado Avalanche, what was my favorite player as a child? Is that accurate? Is that a good way to word that?
I think so.
All right, there you go. Those are our 5 questions. To go over them quickly, who does Joel hate? Which Oiler did he hate in his very first episode? Why do we call them the Pavel Bures? Who's on the other side of the blank to Patrick Waugh scale? Which teams do we both hate? Which team do we both hate? And which player was my favorite that was not known for being a member of the Colorado Avalanche? Send those answers in to us. You could win a prize.
You could. You might also, speaking of editing, you may have given away one of the answers like a few minutes ago. So you should timestamp this again because we're going to have to talk about this later.
This one right now?
Yeah, just right now. You may have given one away. I don't want to give away any stuff.
Okay.
So,
well, we do want to give away some prizes, though.
I don't want to give away the answers, though. I want them because we were like, we distinctively chose questions that we were like, you have to have listened a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we know you're out.
This is your first week. We're sorry that you don't know the answers to this. Thank you for listening, though.
Or you could go back and listen to every episode this week.
It's true. You could start all the way back from, if you were to start listening now at approximately an hour an episode, 200 hours, that would be what? 2 weeks? Oh yeah, you have until next week's episode. So there's literally not enough time to listen to every one at normal speed. You're going to have to listen at double speed.
Double speed. And yeah, you'll figure it out.
You're smart. Our listeners are smart. They're listening to the show already.
Exactly.
Should we jump into what we're doing today?
Yeah, there's real hockey coming up. Like, I feel we should talk a little bit of hockey.
We shouldn't just talk about us the entire show. That's probably very self-serving. I don't think that's why people showed up.
I mean, it's a little bit why they showed up.
They showed up to hear us talk about hockey, not to hear us talk about how great it is that we did 200 episodes.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty great, and I feel like we're pretty great, so I feel like people are happy about it. And if they're not, then I don't know how you've lasted this long listening to us.
That's very true. Yeah, if you're still here. And I know some people are like, hey, why aren't they doing thank you? There's over 200 episodes. There's a lot of people to thank.
Oh, man, I wouldn't
know where to start. I wouldn't know where to end. I'd end with you, probably.
I'd start with you.
Well, there you go. We'd bookend our lists with each other. And in the middle, there's a lot of very great people. You probably know who you are. If you have ever talked with us about hockey, if you have ever been on the show, if you've ever done anything for the website, thanks. If you follow us on a platform, if you share the show, giving us a review on the old iTunes, thanks.
If you've listened, don't understand why, but very much appreciated.
If you subscribed once and just keep downloading, even though you don't listen, Thanks to you as well.
I don't know how they hear that. Thanks, but that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, well, that's not my problem. That's for them to figure out. What we're doing today, we did the Eastern Conference last week. We are going to jump headfirst into the Western Conference and let's start with the Central Division. And
I'm sorry. I have, we missed something in the Eastern Conference last week, and so I have a new friend that he's calling into the show, and he wanted to talk to me. Is that okay?
Sure, yeah. Do you need anything from me?
No, you can go.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk to him, and because he didn't think that we portrayed his team well enough. So let me just get him up on the phone here.
Hello?
Is this Scooby-Doo?
No.
Who am I talking to?
Do you just call and not know who you're looking for?
No, because I was an anonymous number, and he just said he had a beef about an Eastern Conference hockey team.
Oh, is this the Fourth Line podcast?
Yes.
I do have a beef with you.
Okay.
This is Gritty. And...
Oh, wait. This is the dude. You're the mascot guy.
Yeah, me Gritty. My Flyers are really good. And you didn't give them enough credit. Have you... Claude Giroux, so good.
Okay, wait. I said they were a playoff team.
Jacob Voracek, his beard is so good.
No, it's not.
I wanted my beard to look like him. I've grown my beard to look like Jacob Voracek.
Okay, Carl's not here. He's the one that hated on the Flyers. I said that they were a playoff team. But can I ask you a couple questions though?
Yeah.
What exactly is a Gritty? What, you say, is that your name? Is that your species?
I am Gritty. It is me.
But what is that?
Well, I have orange hair, and I live in Philadelphia. I live under the stadium.
Like a troll.
I'm not a troll. You're a troll.
Okay. Who are your parents? Where did you come from?
I'm adopted by Eric Lindros.
I doubt that.
He raised me as a child, and then he left me when he left the Flyers. But I've always wanted to be just like him. That's why I'm Gritty.
He was not Gritty. No. The way that you have been body checking people lately, that Eric Lindros would frown upon that.
Do not talk about Dad like that.
Okay. Are you in any way related to Youppi?
I don't. Do you like the Montreal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who my family is. Do we look the same?
I'm not sure. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for joining the show. We're gonna hang up now.
My Flyers are really good. Don't hang up.
No. I'm gonna try and get Carl back on the back. I think he's I don't even know what he's doing right now.
Hey, what'd I miss?
Arguably, we've talked about that we've had some good interviews over the years.
Yeah.
You just missed one of the worst.
That's dude. I look forward to going back and listening to it.
We had our friend Gritty from the Flyers.
I didn't even know that mascots could talk.
I didn't know either. He kind of sounded like there was a little Scooby-Doo-ish
interesting
vibe going on.
I never pictured him as a dog. I never pictured him as a dog voice. But
no,
I don't even know. What is a Gritty? Did you ask him that?
I asked him what a Gritty was. I asked him I think it's just best if we talk about hockey and just move on. I think that is what's best for us.
Okay, so let's talk about the Western Conference. Do you want to start in the Central or the Pacific?
First of all, I think we should apologize to everyone listening.
I was not here for it, so whatever happened when I wasn't here, that's on you, Joel.
It's not.
That's on you.
Okay, well, yeah, hockey. I don't even know where to go. I'm gonna leave. It's been a jam.
Should I call a mascot and talk to him while you disappear for the rest of the show?
Yes, okay. Just go.
All right, let's start with the Central Division. That's where my Colorado Avalanche are. Last year, the Nashville Predators won that division and essentially made very few changes. Their big change last year was bringing in Kyle Turris partway through the season in the Matt Duchene trade, extending him for this year, allowing them to have another center. And not really a whole lot happened in this offseason. No, they've, again, extended Ryan Ellis more into next season. And for me, I look at this team, and this is, as, you know, the trend goes, but I continually wait for Pekka Rinne to bow out and UC Saros to take this net. And I say this is the year. This is the end of the Pekka Rinne run. He's a UFA after this year, so the Preds need to know if Saros can be the one to take the reins. And, you know, at 35 years old, a UFA, who knows how much longer Pekka Rinne has? This is the year that they need to see what 23-year-old UC Saros can do.
Yeah, that's probably, like, Pekka Rinne, man. That guy. What a guy. It gets dicey for this team after this year, hey? It's like
how so?
Well, it's just their cap hit, like with Ellis, like their cap hit's going up. I don't know, you lose Rinne, I feel like that's a big deal. Like,
yeah, I don't expect him to go anywhere. He's a lifelong Pred. I'm sure his cap hit will be less than the $7 million it is right now, but
yeah, but okay, but this year, playoffs, obviously, not a big, like, they're going to make the playoffs. They will not be a wild card team, shockingly enough.
Yeah, they'll probably finish in the top half of this division.
Yeah.
Would you have them winning the Central?
No.
Let's get to maybe a team that you do have winning the Central. The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
Is that who you have?
Obviously, like, they're a good little team.
They're a good little team. This is a team that, you know, similarly, they went out. Their big move of last year at the trade deadline was picking up Paul Stastny. He is now gone off to Vegas. We'll get to that team. Extended Connor Hellebuck. He was a guy who obviously you needed to sign him. And outside of that, they just kind of, you know, we've talked about the Blake Wheeler contract. And this is a team that I think if you had Mark Scheifele for the entire season last year, this team wins the division.
You think he's worth 3 points over however many games he missed?
I think Mark Scheifele tips the scales just a little bit on that.
It's probably. Is there anything, like, I don't know. There's not really much to say about this. This team's going to probably win the division as long as they stay healthy. I assume they're going to stay healthy.
There's no reason to expect now. You know, Scheifele missed 20 games last year. No injury problems of note for him before that. A lot of the guys on this team are, you know, fairly healthy. I think the only thing that I could see is if the inevitable Dustin Byfuglien cliff happens this year, then that's bad. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like, man, what if Byfuglien and Wheeler hit that cliff together?
They just hold hands and jump.
Yikes. 2 more years for that dude. Yikes. Hey, Winnipeg, win it this year. Now's your time.
That's true, yeah. And if, you know, you've talked about the lack of Jacob Trouba into the future. This team's, yeah, it has, you know, it's a young team, with some older pieces around them, but, you know, this window could close pretty quickly.
What about Patrick Laine? Are you surprised he hasn't signed yet?
No.
What do you think he gets?
I think Patrick Laine would get 9 by 8? 10 by 8? Yeah, 9.
Do you think he's less valuable than Jack Eichel?
I think
2 years after.
I think wingers get paid less than centermen.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Man, wouldn't you rather, like, if you were building a team today and you could say, and I said, you can start with Eichel or Laine, who do you choose?
I would choose probably Laine.
Yeah, so would I. I don't even think it's like they're close in like skill wise, but like I don't even think I would hesitate. Like there wouldn't be a hesitation to be like Laine. Yeah, like I want that guy.
Here's the thing. So Eichel's cap hit coming into this season, he's sitting at $10 million. There is one winger in the league with a cap hit at 10 or above. That is Patrick Kane. Jamie Benn sitting at 9.5. Alexander Ovechkin is just over 9.5.
Yeah, but Ovechkin signed his like decades ago.
Right, yeah. If that deal was signed today, same with Patrick Kane, right? His 10.5 was signed not decades ago, but a while ago. Are you saying that of anyone who signed a deal, that Patrick Laine is the winger that you should give the most money to?
Yeah, because so it's because he's gonna it's because of inflation or whatever. However, contracts get more. So when Ovi and Patrick Kane signed their deals,
so let's use this as an example. Vladimir Tarasenko got 10.27% of cap when he signed his deal.
Mm-hmm.
That would slot in right now at... That's not right. That's not right at all. What are you doing to me, Cap Friendly? They claim that it's 10.27%, which would put him at about the same as Tarasenko's deal. So that's clearly not true.
Tarasenko's got a very nice deal, though.
$7.5 million. Cap hit in 2015-16 was approximately... Are you okay at, is that a reasonable comp for salary, Tarasenko to Laine?
No, Laine is going to get what Kucherov is getting. He's going to get that 9.5. For sure. How would you not? How could you not lock... I think he for sure gets that. Why would you not? What has shown you that Laine is not worth every penny that Kucherov is?
Absolutely. So so that deal kicks in for him next year. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Tarasenko is he's an amazing player. I just think he's probably getting, if he signs a contract today, I think he's closer to the 9.5 than he is the 7.5.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that deal is not the same as it was signed then.
So yeah. Okay. Do you have them winning the division? No, yes?
Yes, yeah. I would have them first, Nashville second.
Who slots in third for you?
Third in that division, I probably have the St. Louis Blues. I like what they did this offseason. The Blues have they added Ryan O'Reilly and gave up moderate pieces from their roster.
Right.
But then they replaced those moderate pieces. David Perron, nothing to get excited about, especially at $4 million a season, but if you're looking at what they got rid of for him, that's fine. On defense, they've still got good pieces, and I still believe Jake Allen is good enough to carry this team. Also, Tyler Bozak, that's another guy they brought in. Bozak, Perron, Ryan O'Reilly are much better than the pieces they missed out on. They missed the playoffs last year by 1 point. Those players are good enough to get them back into the playoffs for sure. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't jump up to third.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although I can't speak rationally about Tyler Bozak, so I won't even attempt to. I love that guy. I just and I want so badly for Robbie Fabry to be good. I want him
and healthy.
I just want it. I just want it so badly.
Yeah. If he could play actual NHL games at this point, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and like the bar is so low for him now. Just play, man. Just be healthy and play. We'll love it. It doesn't matter what you do, you get it back. Like I don't know. I don't think like. Do you believe like young guys lose like talent?
I think that you could peak early. You could. I don't think you lose talent as much as, like, more mentally something falls apart for you.
And that could be with him. And he maybe never really we haven't really seen him a ton, so maybe he just wasn't as good as what everyone thought he was going to be. But man, dude, let's hope that guy stays healthy. He scores, he's a 20-goal scorer if he's healthy.
Yeah, at least. If he is what he was back before, he hasn't played in now almost 2 years. So, and he did have a little bit of an injury problem in the preseason. And we'll get to teams with injury problems in the preseason.
Oh, man. You've talked me into this team in third, so I'm with you. This is the most boring preview ever.
All right.
So let's disagree on a team.
Okay, well, let's go fourth in this division in a wild card spot. My Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, nope. But to talk about them, but do you have much to say about this team? We talk
a lot about the Avalanche. I liked they added role play pieces. Nathan MacKinnon's good.
Grubauer should be your starting goaltender by the end of the year. I think he's better than Varlamov.
I would not be surprised. There was talk. The Athletic did like a big goaltender thing, and in that they said that there's talk that they're shopping Varlamov, which then Adrian Dater said, hard no, they're not shopping him, and which probably means that they're shopping him because Dater's not exactly my favorite of sources.
But who really cares? Like, who wants Simeon Varlamov?
Right. So, like, the Avalanche care and that fan base, but who is listening, right? You can shop as much as you want, but no one is actively going out to buy Simeon Varlamov.
Yeah. Not like Grubauer's good.
So,
a little pickup.
So you disagree. Where do you have this team?
Probably next. Like, so I wouldn't have them fourth. I'd probably have them fifth. Yeah, maybe fifth, maybe sixth. They're not I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I'm sorry.
It's disappointing news, Joel.
When am I ever right? You listened to me for 200 some episodes or whatever. When have I ever been right? Doesn't matter. I got Dallas next. I got Dallas in four. Come on, Dallas. It's your time. It's your time. Score all the goals. Show me that you like to score goals.
So what makes this Dallas Stars team better than last year's Dallas Stars team?
A feeling.
You just trust, hope, pray.
Just got that feeling, man. Just got that feeling. They no longer have Niemi or Lettinen. Did they have them last year?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
They did.
There you go. They don't. Niemi's gone. Lettinen's gone. Let's do this. Let's go. Ben Bishop. I think Bishop.
You haven't named a single reason why they're going to score more goals than last year.
I said a feeling. Come on.
Okay.
Holy smokes. Did I not say that?
You did.
I'm not saying
you did say that.
I never said it was a good reason.
Okay.
Just said it was a reason. I like this team. I want them to score lots of goals.
Here's the thing about the Central Division. Last year, there was one team in the Central Division with a negative goal differential.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very close division.
It is.
Right? Dallas finished 3 points back at Colorado for that last wildcard spot. And it's going to be close again this year. I do believe, Chicago will be better. We'll get to them. But yeah, Dallas is going to be good again. Having Khudobin as a backup instead of Lettinen and Niemi, that's a win. So they've gotten better there. This team, I still think Ben Bishop should be better, but I've thought that for so long that I just I'm kind of overthinking that.
Yeah, and so we got Winnipeg, Nashville, St. Louis, Dallas, Colorado. See, like Winnipeg, or not Winnipeg, forget, that's not what I was trying to say. They're going to be at the top. Minnesota, Colorado, Dallas, Chicago, St. Louis, like any of them, maybe St. Louis is a cut above those guys, but like all of those teams, like they could fit anywhere in this division.
Yeah.
Like it's like Metro, but good. It's like
yeah,
it's like,
there's not the two bottom teams.
Yeah, like if any of these teams made the playoffs, would you be surprised? Probably not.
No, not at all.
So
let's get Minnesota is a team that I personally would have. I would have Dallas 5th in this division. I would have Minnesota 6th.
Okay.
And this is simply because they're a team with just all the injury problems. And I do not have any faith in, Zach Parise playing a full season. Ryan Suter, he's, coming in off an injury as well. And so you've got both of those guys coming in. Their big guns are coming in banged up or with question marks. And that's not what you want. So for me, that's the biggest reason why I look at this team and I'm like, I just can't get too fired up.
I just will never get fired up with a team that has Devin Dubnyk as their goalie. Like, it just doesn't do it for me.
I've turned the corner on Devin Dubnyk because he proved to me enough that like he's a starting goaltender. He is good enough to be that and can take a team to the playoffs year in, year out. That's fine. He's a 10, 15, 20-ish best goalie. But there's just a lot of pieces that have question marks, and I feel like they're not all going to be yes. They're not all going to be good.
So that means no love for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, the Blackhawks. Corey Crawford is what this team needed last year, right? They were serviceable. Corey Crawford went down, and it all fell apart.
I'm not sure they're a playoff team, though, even with Crawford healthy.
Last year, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at, the core of that team, he was not the only issue. But I feel like you lose that goaltender, your number one, and you start to struggle. A lot of just the team starts to take that trend, right? Like if you had a team that was playing with the same sort of confidence in front of their goalie that they would in front of Corey Crawford, I think a little bit better. But this is the thing. He's not 100%. Like he's not ready to go back into game speed. He still has concussion problems.
Yeah, and
that's not good.
It's brutal. And the reality is like this team is just getting older and older and older. And like Patrick Kane, still one of the best players in the league. You're still thrilled to have him. Taves, solid player, not as good as he was. Maybe he was never as good as people thought he was.
He certainly is not. I don't think there's any question. Jonathan Taves not worth $10.5 million.
No,
then or now or ever.
And maybe you just don't care because you won your cups and that's that. But it's just I can't envision anything like. I guess they could be a playoff team if Crawford comes back, plays well, Kane plays out of his mind, Saad is great, Anisimov is great. They figure out, I don't know, just they don't play Brent Seabrook.
Yeah, they just bench him, bury that salary in the A somehow, just eat it.
I don't know, maybe they're a playoff team. It's hard to imagine them being a playoff team though. It's hard to imagine them, especially maybe if you're telling me, hey, we're going to take Chicago and we're going to swap them with the Islanders and we're going to put them in the Metro. Yeah, maybe they're good enough to like, if all the pieces fall together right, maybe they're good enough to be a playoff team in that division. In this division, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think they could certainly pull that off, but this is a very, very tough division. And with Corey Crawford still dealing with concussions, who knows when he's going to be okay enough to... They're talking he should practice on Monday, but who knows how that goes.
And, like, Cam Ward. Like, come on.
Not good.
Come on, Chicago. Why? Like, come on. This is, like, there wasn't very many good goalies available this offseason, but, like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's not kid ourselves. The guy's, like, 29 still, eh?
Yeah. Cam Ward. Been good for a season, bad for the other 10.
So bizarre, eh?
Yeah. Hey, that's what winning a Stanley Cup as a goaltender gets you. A entire career.
I guess. Man. Carolina fans are coming after you.
I don't think, at this point, I don't think they disagree too much.
It's crazy to think, like, did you know that Corey Crawford and Cam Ward are essentially the same age?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Cam Ward's been around for forever.
Yeah.
Weird. Super, super weird.
Do you want to head to the Pacific?
I mean,
West?
I feel like we sort of have to at this point. I mean, if we don't, it'll be weird.
All right, let's do it. This was a division with, a surprise last year.
Yeah, let's go bottom up this time.
Bottom up? All right.
Yeah,
so
we've done everyone top down. Let's do this one bottom up. Let's change it up.
All right. So let's start with some Vancouver Canucks.
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. They're not a good hockey team, and I'm okay about it.
Let's actually start with Arizona. They were not the worst team last year.
Yeah, but Canucks are gonna be the worst team.
Okay, so yeah, that's okay. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, sure. Vancouver, you take a 73-point team, and you take the Sedins off of it.
52 points, man. If Mark Scheifele was worth 3 points to the Winnipeg Jets, 2 Sedins to the Canucks is worth at least 20.
Yeah. That was it's going to be a rough season for the old Vancouver Canucks. Did you see Travis Green's comments? He was not beating around the bush this week. He was saying, when asked about his team, he was like, yeah, our offense is terrible. We're well aware of that. We need to find a way to fix it. And the problem is this team's not good enough to fix that.
Maybe don't sign Sam Gagner and Antoine Roussel and Jay Beagle and Derek Dorsett and Brandon Sutter. Maybe that's a good place to start.
That's a solid third line you just described, though, Joel.
At best, that's a solid third line.
Unfortunately, that's gonna be their second line, and that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a team with a lot of players that you're like, yeah, this guy could be like a good role player. There's a lot of role play guys on this team playing big roles. So to get things to get excited about this year, you still got Bo Horvat, you still got Brock Besser, Elias Pettersson might get a cup of coffee.
That's a solid first line. Like, not like, hey, that's okay. Like, if I'm a Canucks fan, I'm very excited about that as like a top 3, like a top 1 line. Like,
yeah, moving into the future with those 3.
Like, that's really good. Maybe figure out, this is the Canucks goal this year. Figure out how to trade everybody but those 3.
Yeah.
I know that you probably can't, but just try.
Do whatever you can. What do you feel like the window is for this team? Like, when are they going to be back in the playoffs? I'm not even saying like cup contender. When is this a playoff team again?
4 years, maybe 5. Like, it's a while.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that scares me about, like Bo Horvat may not be on this team when it's a playoff team.
You're right. Yeah.
It would scare me because it's just so, this team is like like bogged down by just a ton of just not very good hockey players.
Yeah, and we've talked a few weeks ago about the goaltending, old Thatcher coming up, and if he doesn't hit, there's not really a lot behind him.
So trade everything, get that first overall pick. Well, I get that second overall pick. Because Ottawa, come on, they're gonna give up Colorado that first. So
they're gonna give us Jack Hughes, and thank you for that, Ottawa.
Yeah. So who do you got next? So you got Vancouver last. Boom. Next.
Oh, this division is quite terrible. I'm gonna go with the Coyotes next.
Yeah, you gotta go Coyotes.
But I think they will be. I would not be surprised if they ended up like 5th, 4th, maybe not 4th, but this team will be better than they were last year.
This team could make a 10-point jump. They could hit 80 points. It wouldn't shock me. This is crazy.
That's how bad this team is. That you're like, yeah, this team could jump 10 points, which for any other team is significant and huge, right? Like, that's like, oh, that's now a playoff team. A 10-point jump for the Coyotes gets them firmly out of the playoffs.
Even close out of the playoffs.
I think, so the biggest move that they made this offseason, the trade, they won, they made a trade with the Canadiens, which means they won it. And so you've got Galchenyuk in there, which, he's not great, but he's good. They added Marian Hossa. Big addition.
Come on. Play nice.
But I like Antti Ranta. I like that guy still.
You shouldn't.
I should.
No. Come on.
Antti Ranta, when healthy last year, was one of the best goaltenders in the league.
I don't know, man.
Joel, how would you feel if I told you that you could have a goaltender that had a .930 save percentage and a .224 goals against? How would you feel about that?
I'd be like, yeah, it's just plain luck. Like, this guy, I don't know.
Well, I do know, and I trust Antti Ranta to be good enough for this team. And I do think that if you were able to surround him with enough other pieces, he would be good enough for this Coyotes team to make the playoffs.
To make the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm not saying this year. I'm not saying that this cast of characters is enough, but I am saying that Antti Ranta is enough to be a playoff goaltender.
Okay. So who is also not making the playoffs in this division with Arizona? I'm
going to say the Calgary Flames are the team that I would have next in this division.
That's who you go next, eh?
Where are you going next?
See, I'd either go, it's either Edmonton or maybe Los Angeles. It could also be Anaheim. I don't like any of those teams.
I like the fact that LA at least did a thing this offseason, right? Like of those teams, Calgary did something, Anaheim did something, or not Anaheim, LA did something. Anaheim has Ryan Kessler, who not the greatest player, but you want him to play. Corey Perry, again, not the player he was, but you want him to play. He got hurt in the preseason, out 5 months. That's essentially the season. When he comes back, the Anaheim Ducks will be firmly out of the playoffs. You're like, yeah, sure, he's back, but who cares?
So you've got Calgary next.
Calgary, but I could be very easily convinced to put Anaheim in this spot. I have Calgary, Anaheim as the next two.
Calgary's for sure more likely to make the playoffs than Anaheim is. Anaheim is not making the playoffs.
So with the injuries, with the getting old.
Yeah, just John Gibson is not that good. He's really good, but he's not that good.
Not a miracle worker there, John Gibson?
No, because we've seen Carey Price amazing in Montreal, but not good enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We don't need to talk. I say let's put Anaheim there. We don't really need to talk about them. They're exactly the same as last year, except older and more broken.
Yeah, like they have aged much worse than Chicago has. Now, granted, their stars are older, right? Like Corey and Getzlaf are 3 years older than Kane and Taves. So sure, that's understandable, but
see,
this is what Chicago has to look forward to in 3 years. This is essentially it.
I'm surprised you didn't want to go, like, so you would go Calgary next. I'd probably go LA next. Cause you know what's really good? When you got like an old team that used to be good, and then you know what you do? You're like, you know what we should do? We should add Dion Phaneuf and Ilya Kovalchuk. Yeah, that's amazing. 10 years ago, like 10 years ago, that would be great.
Did you see it was pointed out today that Dion Phaneuf's retained salary by the Ottawa Senators is their second highest cap hit on defense. That's
hilarious. It's well done, Ottawa.
Yeah. Yeah, this team, obviously we don't know what Ilya Kovalchuk is in the NHL, but what Ilya Kovalchuk was in the KHL...
Oh, no. Bad. We do know.
He was still really good over there, though.
Yeah, he's going to be bad in the NHL, though. When you said, like, we don't know what he's going to be, I do, and it's not going to be good.
So, in the K, he had more than a point a game, which is something that I think you want out of a player. I think you want them to put up points.
Yeah. Yes. You think he's going to be a point a player in the NHL this year?
No, I think we talked about that. I think I had him at like 50, 60 points. Which you add 50, 60 points to this LA Kings team. That's good, obviously.
I don't know, man.
I can't believe that I'm somehow defending the LA Kings. Like, we're talking about, like, the fact that sometimes we push arguments more just for the sake of it. This is, like, how did I end up being the one that's somehow defending the Kings? Because I don't think this team's very good, but I don't think they're as terrible as you think they're going to be. Like, this will be last year, 98 points. Are they better or worse than 98 points?
Worse.
How much worse?
They don't make the playoffs. They're going to they're going to hit the mid to late 80s.
Wow. So the 10 points are given to the Coyotes. You're just taking those straight away from the Kings.
Boom. They got to come from somewhere.
So I guess Arizona just wins every game against the Kings. I don't know what their head-to-heads were last year, but let's assume that LA won all of them. This year, they lose them all. I would probably slot them in at about the same. They'll be a fringe playoff team for me.
Dude, 98 points is hardly a fringe playoff team. You get 98 points, you're making the playoffs.
Well, that's what, like, around 98 points. 98 points is like, if you're below it, then yeah. I'd say 98 is like their peak, but...
Because I think Calgary's better this year. I think Edmonton will be better this year. I think Arizona will be better this year. And I think LA and Anaheim will be worse. And so... It's actually like, I don't like Anaheim, for as bad as they are, they still had 101 points last year. And I don't like you said, they didn't do anything. Ryan Kessler didn't, like, he was broken all year, was he not?
Yeah.
And so, like,
and Corey Perry wasn't that good last year anyways.
So if they get 101 points without, like, so like, I think they're going to be worse, but like, that's the thing. Like, I think this team is going to be top heavy with San Jose. I have no idea what Vegas is going to do. Like, you could tell me they're going to finish with 105 points, and I'd be like, yeah. And you could tell me they're going to finish with 63 points, and I'd probably agree with you. Like, I have no idea what they're going to do. But I do, like, so the middle of this division is going to be, I don't think you're going to have teams, those bottom teams are going to move up, and those top teams are going to move down. And I could see easily, like, LA is going to miss the playoffs because of that. Because they're just not, they're old, man. They're not good. Jonathan Quick, come on. Cam Ward, it's basically the same.
Agree to disagree on that one. But, you are correct with the fact of where this division sits. You know, the Golden Knights, they went out, they picked up Paul Stastny.
Stop. What did you just say?
What did I just say?
I believe Carl just said, you are correct.
Oh.
Let's just move on.
Just mark that down. Should I record this time as well? 1 hour and 1 minute. Joel said, you're right.
You said it.
Joel, you're right. They added Patches. That's better than Thomas Tatar. Paul Stastny. He's good. James Neal's gone though.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm assuming they're a playoff team.
I assume that they'll be not first because that's San Jose's spot.
Yeah.
I would say second to fourth in this division.
I think they'll hit 100 points, but I wouldn't if they hit 80, if they were at 80, I wouldn't be I didn't see that coming. It's more likely that they don't. It's more likely that they're better.
Because William Karlsson is not going to do what William Karlsson did last year.
No.
That's not happening.
And they're not going to have goaltending like they did last year.
You mean when every goaltender on their team was hurt and they were calling up guys from the dub?
And they were still really good? That's not happening.
Okay, noted.
Marc-Andre Fleury, good goalie, just played probably above his ceiling right now. I don't think he's going to be as good this year.
Yeah, I would expect Marc-Andre Fleury to put up about the same numbers as what he did last year. Maybe a bit less, but not that much below. I would say his performance last year obviously is the ceiling of what could be expected. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing better than that. But if he plays a little bit worse, that could be the difference of 5 points, right?
Yeah, you have... So William Karlsson, he's played his best season he's ever going to play, right? I think we can all agree William Karlsson's not going to shoot 23% this season.
Agreed.
So, he's going down. Marc-Andre Fleury will go down a little bit. So you take those, you take the difference between, Patches and Neal. Let's consider that a wash. You add Paul Stastny. He's probably his addition is not going to be enough to make up for that. You've got Nate Schmidt missing a quarter of the season.
Poor Nate.
Maybe just don't do steroids, Nate.
Yeah, don't do roids.
Yeah. Don't cheat. Have fun. Those are important things to do. Yeah, I think Vegas last year sitting as a 109-point team. I think 100 is a reasonable mark to look at for them.
Yeah, I think they're a playoff team, but let's be real here. It's going to be a Tampa San Jose Cup final.
San Jose is, obviously right now the trendy favorite, but they're the trendy favorite for a reason. The team is ridiculous.
They're really good. And there's lots of things out there showing how when teams in the past have had two elite Norris Trophy defenseman types, they win Stanley Cups.
Yeah. Here's and I know preseason I don't put a lot of stock into it, but I lucked into some Sharks Flames tickets this past week, and I was very much looking forward to watching Erik Karlsson make his San Jose Sharks debut. Here's the thing. The Sharks brought nobody good. Players not in the lineup. Karlsson, Burns, Pavelski, Couture, Evander Kane, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. All of these players were left out of the lineup. The Calgary Flames started essentially the exact forward core that they will be bringing for the start of the season, as well as a quarter of their defense. They didn't start, Gio, Hamonic. They started Hanifin, a couple of those back end guys. And obviously the goalies didn't play. It was a 6-5 game with an empty netter for Calgary. The fact that the Sharks managed to push them like that is ridiculous. So even the dregs of the Sharks can beat up on the top talent of the Flames pretty well. It's a deep team. It's a team with great talent on both ends. They're going to win. Yeah.
I got them in my cup finals.
I I want to not have them in my final because like everyone does, but you look at this team up and down, and I see no holes.
So, okay. So I've got San Jose, Tampa. Like that's who I'm guessing. If you were to not, like, let's say, because like those are the two favorites from both divisions or from both conferences. If I had just said to you, you can't choose either of those teams, who would you have in a cup final? Not those teams.
I would have from the East. I would have the Pittsburgh Penguins. From the West, I would have. I'd probably have the Jets. But part of me also wants to put the Blues in there. Like, I really like this Blues team this year. I think they're going to be good.
Apparently, I'd probably do something like Nashville, and then like just see what, like, have one of those years where you get like a team like Jersey or Columbus just go on a crazy run in the playoffs. Like, there's no logical reason why they would be in the cup, but
the Knights made it last year, so
teams like that. So like, I would probably go like Jersey. Just like they just have like this magical run. Corey Schneider just gets on fire for the playoffs, doesn't let pucks in at all, and they just go, and it's like that would be, I guess, not. And like Nashville's not like a crazy pick either. Like we have them second in the
right. Like saying that it's Columbus or New Jersey is a crazy pick, but the thing. Those are just like, you look smart when you say that, and then you're like, yeah, I had Columbus in the cup final in the preseason, but you also sound like a crazy person when you say that, as like your genuine pick. So, there's gonna be a lot of things, obviously, hot take, a lot of things are gonna happen this season that we don't see coming. Some injuries, some players are gonna shoot 23% like William Karlsson, some goaltenders are gonna play garbage like Corey Schneider. These things are going to happen, but we get to actually watch hockey, which brings us to the Pavel Bures.
That's all we're going to say about that. We're going to pick some games, tell us the rules, because we don't want to. Maybe next week we'll explain what the Pavel Bures are.
Yeah.
Can't now.
No, sir. But what else we can do? We can explain what you're going to do with these. So we're going to tell you these games. This is. I don't know if this is going to sound good in post, Joel, but we've had to make another edit because Carl gave away another answer for this show, for our quiz. So, Pavel Bures, we play high sticking with them.
Yeah.
Head to our Twitter. We're also going to try it out. We're going to see how it works. We're going to do it this first session. We're also going to post them on the Facebook page. So you can go over there. If you're a Facebook person but not a Twitter person, head over to the Facebook, head over to the Twitter. For every game, pick who, not who, which team's going to win. Pick which team's going to win and the score. If you pick the winning team, you get a point. If you get that team right, for every score that you get correct, you get a point. So if you pick Leafs win 5-2 over the Habs, if that's our game of the day, which it's probably going to be on Wednesday, then you get 3 points. If you only get one of the scores right, or if you pick the Habs foolishly, then you get 0 points. Joel, let's let you start. Wednesday, October 3rd. NHL hockey is back. Who do you have?
I will be watching the New York Yankees and the Oakland Athletics.
Is that the wildcard day? Is also
that is wild. This is the AL wildcard game. And so I will be watching playoff baseball. I apologize. But on my iPad will be the John Tavares-led Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens. We have a no Boston rule. We can't go anywhere else there.
That's it. All right, let's
Toronto.
Thursday. Most of the teams are playing. Somehow Boston they decided, you know what, we're going to make you play the Cup champs, but then you get to play the Sabres the next day. We're going to start you 2 games on the road to start the season, top and bottom for them. Again, there's 2 options: Washington, Pittsburgh, good matchup. the old Colorado-Minnesota games are usually hotly contested. I want to go Colorado. You went Leafs to start off. I'm also going to start with a homer pick. We're going Colorado, Minnesota on Thursday night.
I like it. Friday night, we are going to see Mr. Carlson's second game as a San Jose Shark. He's going to play a little late night high sticking.
For all you people on the West Coast, that's what you get. Then we go to Saturday, our first hockey night in Canada. We also have an afternoon game. The Devils and the Oilers starting in Sweden. And there are some very good matchups, even if you look at the fact that, I think you're going to have, I know you're going to have some bad teams playing against bad teams, which can still make for some good games to watch. I'm liking Winnipeg, Dallas that night. How do you feel?
Good with that.
All right. What do you got on Sunday? It's probably it's a small slate, 3 games.
I don't know. I know what I'll be watching.
You'll be watching the Leafs.
Do you want to watch, it's not Carolina Rangers. We're not watching that game.
Is it also a Detroit Red Wings?
I was like, do you want to watch Detroit? You're either going Carolina Rangers, which I really don't think we should do, or you're going LA or Toronto twice. If you're going team twice in the first week, let's be honest here.
That's true. Let's not go a team twice in the first week. We'll throw the Rangers a bone.
Oh my goodness. No, I am protesting this. I'm not watching the Rangers in Carolina. Come on now.
All right, there you go. Joel's selected for Sunday. Leafs, Blackhawks.
If it's on Wednesday, I will be okay with that.
If I do what?
Leafs Habs off of Wednesday. If you want to go, I don't know, you want to go Edmonton versus some team in Sweden, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's not an actual game.
Germany? It's Germany. It's a German team, it appears.
No.
You want to go Flames Canucks? I'm fine if you don't want to go 2 times, but we're not watching Rangers Canes.
Okay.
But
I'll let you have the Leafs twice this time.
Okay.
In the future, my foot might be put down.
Well, we could switch it up. We could watch Carlson's first game, and then on Friday, no. Columbus, Carolina is better than New York Rangers. There are some other ways we could go here.
Let's just go. I've already written them all down.
Okay.
Toronto, Chicago on Sunday.
Let the record show I was trying to be flexible. I just don't want to watch Rangers Kings.
That's fair. And that's a long weekend in Canada. Thanksgiving weekend coming up.
Yeah, should we pick a Monday game or no?
Sure.
No. I don't.
Okay.
There's no good games.
Okay, there you go.
Enjoy your family on Holiday Monday.
That's it. That's how that works. Remember, send in your high sticking picks to Twitter, to Facebook. Lots of ways to win this year. We're gonna be giving out some prizes. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Number 200 in the book.
There you go.
Bag? Book? I don't know what you say.
In the book, yeah. In the ears.
Biscuit in the basket.
The biscuit is in the basket. Let's remind everyone about the Alberta Podcast Network, the Back to School Again podcast, a podcast about people returning to the workplace and what they learn there. So if you head to albertapodcastnetwork.com or backtoschoolagain.ca, you'll be able to find out all you need to know about the Back to School Again podcast. You can find that over on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to us right now. You can do that. Send in your answers to the quiz. I probably edited out at least 2 of the times that I gave away answers on this show, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. There's at least 2.
At least 2, yeah. Thank you for a fantastic 200 episodes, and we look forward to being with you through this NHL season.
Boom City.